are back for the first game of the Men's Supa-Liga A for the Saturday. We've got three very interesting clashes coming up, but starting us off is the Scarborough Sharks, who still are unbeaten with 3 wins and a draw to start their season, versus the winless Perth Pumas, who sit rock bottom with only 6 players on the team list today. I can't see that changing. John, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Sharks will come into the match the hot favourites. And again, it's not that there's a lot separating these two sides, but it's more the organisation of the Sharks having a full bench. You'd feel like even if the game is in the mixer, the extra subs will get them over the line in the second half. And we'll just run through the lineup. Starting for the Scarborough Sharks, it's Jiga Hingragia, the number 1, Miguel D. Oliveira, the number 11, Brandon Ustazen, the captain, the number 6, and Flynn Nolan, the number 8. Substitutes for the Scarborough Sharks: Spiro Nenadic, the number 15, Daniel Bergquist, the number 25, Ethan Hardy, the reserve keeper, the number 27, and Matthew Ustazen, the number 9. And for the Pumas, it's a light squad. Raiden Tran starts in net, the number 1, Amar Jahel, the captain, the number 19, Matthew Stephenson, the number 44, Bennett Vesey, the number 32, Theon Mulholland, the number 11, and Mackenzie Miacotta, who has been absent for quite a few weeks now, wearing the number 14. There's Mulholland, picked off him by D. Oliveira. Vesey does well to leave it. He's done well there, Bennett Vesey. Plays it back to Jahel. Out wide to Miacotta. Mulholland, but it's won by Federbegovic. Still going Federbegovic. And was that a foul? Referee not buying it. Raiden Tran to get the restart going. Jahel, high press oncoming from the Sharks, and they've won it back. Hingragia. Brandon Ustazen. Federbegovic calling for the ball. Ustazen ignores the run. Nolan uses the big cheese. It's Flynn Nolan on the ball now. He's one of the best in the league. Flynn Nolan, he was a top scorer for Western Australia at Nationals. There's D. Oliveira with the chance inside the area. Speaking of top scorers, the top scorer in the competition, or one of them, coming into the run, Miguel D. Oliveira. He's been in amazing form as it's an early substitution for the Pumas. Miacotta coming off for Stephenson. A high press from the Scarborough Sharks. Can the Pumas break it? D. Oliveira, Ustazen. Federbegovic, back to Ustazen. D. Oliveira with space, but opts to reset instead. It's Nolan. Federbegovic, back to Nolan. And now Ustazen. Sharks keeping the ball quite nicely, but as I say that, Nolan almost gives it away. He's done well to recover. And Federbegovic, Nolan gives it away. Mulholland, here's a chance. Theon Mulholland cracks it off the left, and I'm joined as usual by Luke Ross. Luke, your thoughts on the game inside the opening couple of minutes?
Yeah, I mean, Scarborough Sharks have started fast as they have. Obviously, D. Oliveira had that golden opportunity early on. He put it just wide, but I mean, the Perth Pumas on their day are a good team. I think today all the players that they have in their squad are very capable players. It's just the depth's probably going to let them down at the end of it. Obviously, not even a coach, no Gordon Young today. And Grant Tram, what a save that is. The under-16 West Australian state goalkeeper even played for the men's side at the recent national championships. So they've got a very good young team, and it's another good save. And D. Oliveira, Tran makes his 3rd save of the game early, and I think Pumas are going to have to manage this game very well if they are to get anything from it. And it's going to have to be a bit of a snatch and grab. D. Oliveira pressing hard, and that's a Pumas side ball. But it looks like Scarborough Sharks are trying to press the Pumas out of the game. Miacotta, who, as we were saying, has been absent for quite some time, seems to have made his return. Last seen with the Northern Hawks, I believe. Jiga Hingragia at the back, gives it to Ustazen. Stays into De Oliveira. De Oliveira went one on with Jahel, and Jahel did well. Bennett Vesey unlucky there. He's been a bit of a shining light in recent times, Bennett Vesey. What a ball that is. And Flynn Nolan. What a finish from Flynn Nolan with the back heel. De Oliveira got excited as well.
Flynn Nolan showing us what he brings to the Scarborough Sharks side. He's a class above the rest and proves that early on in today's contest.
Yeah, that almost came out of nothing. It was just a bit of a, just a nothing ball kind of target by Brandon Stazen, and Flynn Nolan made something seemingly out of nothing, and that puts the Scarborough Sharks 1-0 up, and that makes that task for the Perth Pumas just that much harder. I think you can tell, can't you, John, that the Scarborough Sharks are just trying to press the Perth Pumas out of the game.
Yeah, look, it's not a bad tactic. They have employed a high press quite often this season, including when they played us, and I do think it's worked quite well. It's not something we've seen an awful lot in the Supa-Liga over recent seasons. I remember for a time period with the Cobras would be really the only side that would try and full press the whole game, but it is a very effective tactic if done correctly, and Tom Lynch has got the Scarborough Sharks doing it very well. It's paid dividends so far, and as I say that, Flynn Nolan doubling his money, doubling the lead, and I don't know what goal was better, but that one rifled into the top corner from the side ball. Nothing Tran or the Perth Pumas could do about it, and that's 2-0.
Yeah, that was a great finish there from Nolan. It was a very, very good finish. And
Mulholland gives it to Jahel. Centers it for Mulholland. Returns it for Jahel. It's been a reoccurring problem for the Perth Pumas. They've had plenty of bad starts this season. They usually get themselves into the game when it's already too late. We'll see if this will be the case this time around, or if the scoreline will get ugly. Jahel. Miyakota. Vesey. Still going Vesey. Gives it to Mulholland. Jahel. Tries to beat Nenadic.
We should probably mention Nenadic. It's his first game of the season. He was on that European holiday for the first 5 rounds, and he's back. The man they call the hero, Spiro Nenadic. A very, very good player defensively and going forward. We'll have to see what type of shape he's in fitness-wise.
De Oliveira was dubbed the set-piece specialist a couple of seasons ago whilst playing for Byford. Can he be on the money again? On target. Braden Tran makes the first and second save. And a couple of absences from the Scarborough Sharks side. Halil Russo and Ash Rowson, who have been two important players for them this season, but it's good to see that they've got players they can call on, like Nenadic and Fedor Begovic. They've got a lot of depth this season, the Scarborough Sharks. Lynch has recruited well, bringing back Ash Rowson, bringing in Halil Russo. De Oliveira joined mid-season last time around. Stephenson, Vesey, down the line, Jahel. This is where he can be dangerous, but Nolan marshals the challenge. Jahel trying to turn Nolan. Nolan defends well. Jahel not happy with the call. Nolan back to Nenadic, who stays in, returns to Nenadic. Inside, De Oliveira. Vesey, Jahel, still going on Jahel. Lovely ball, Miyakota falls to Jahel. Just couldn't find that bottom corner. That's better from the Perth Pumas, though. And the comment coming in from Ash Rowson, Flynn Golian. I'd have to agree. He's been on the money this evening. De Oliveira, another player who I'm sure you could wordplay in some form or another to add goals in his name, because he's scored a bag of them this season. Hasn't quite found the score sheet yet tonight, but you'd tip him to at some stage in the match.
Yeah, probably only a matter of time until De Oliveira finds the net, and Spirit and Endich straight at Raiden Tran there, but that was some nice skill to get past Miyakoda. Vesey comes forward, Flynn Nolan, Marshall as well. Vesey does well. And Spirit and Endich looks like he's got a new tattoo on his arm as well, showing some fresh ink for us all. Obviously wants to get a new look going. Bald head and fresh ink on the arm, looking like a prison convict. Is Spirit and Endich looking sharp though, I must say.
He kind of looks like Andrew Tate now, I think. He's got the tattoo going, similar hairstyle and beard. So I think we'll nickname him with the top G on the court for the Sharks tonight.
And you would have to say that no matter your political opinion, you have to agree Andrew Tate is that guy.
Ustazen gives it to another Ustazen. And now it's Daniel Bergquist. Josh Chevelle also out for the Scarborough Sharks tonight. Didn't quite pick up on it, but that's also come to mind. So Sharks doing well with, I'm not going to say an undermanned side, because these are very good players, but they're missing a couple of their key starters, yet still holding up very well. Same can be said about the Perth Pumas, missing John Connolly, Gordon Tuyoung taking a step back from playing, and well, no one knows what Kevin Pensell is doing, but
we can be rest assured he's with his girlfriend.
He's probably taking good care of Alyssa, so the priorities are in check. As Nenadic, who stays in to the top G and Spiro Nenadic. Daniel Bergquist, former coach of the ECU Jets. Great to see him on court for the Sharks. Who stays in. Down the line to Brandon, who stays in. Bergquist. Good ball inside. Nenadic lofts it over. Bergquist is looking to head it on, but Jahel gets an important touch.
Yeah, I think the Scarborough Sharks just need to... not the Scarborough Sharks. The Perth Pumas just need to keep going and keep in this game, keep defending hard, and when they get a small window of opportunity, they've just got to make it count. Good touch there by referee Campos. Jahel to Miyakoda. Miyakoda at the back to... That's Matt Stephenson. Here we go, a little bit more sustained possession from the Perth Pumas.
Stephenson, ball down the line for Vesey. And Vesey looking for the back post. Vesey, a former player of your club, Luke, Cambio Cumbre, was with him for a couple of seasons, learning from the very best in Nestor Fonseca. And he brings a lot to this Perth Pumas side, Bennett Vesey. He's committed. He has a really good work rate, and I remember last season when they defeated us 4-2, he scored a very important goal for them. Just hasn't quite worked out for him and for the Pumas as a squad this time out, but they are talented individuals, and on their day, not an easy side to beat. Ustazen looking to extend the lead, but Raiden Tran makes the save at the near post. As it's Ustazen, the big cheese back on Federbegovic.
Yes, as you were saying, they are missing the Black Panther, Josh Chevelle. So that's 3 outs. And then we should also remember Gareth Chevelle as well. Obviously, a big family affair going on at the Scarborough Sharks. And there's another one of the brothers, Matt Ustazen. Puts that one into the bottom corner. That's a great finish from Matty Ustazen. On the reverse, you'll see there he just swiveled his body, and Raiden Tran, nothing he could do about that.
Oh, lovely finish on the turn. I don't know how he squeezed that one in. And it's a timely timeout for the Perth Pumas. We'll have a quick break and be back in just a moment.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
And Scarborough Sharks are back and ready to take the court. Now so are the Perth Pumas, who will be required to kick off after just conceding courtesy of a brilliant finish from Matt Ustazen. 3-0 to the Scarborough Sharks with 8 minutes to go in this first half. Stephenson to Mia Cotter. Mia Cotter gives it away. Lovely touch from Miguel Oliveira. And if he could have brought that one onto the left and finished, it would have been some goal. He'll take the corner instead. In the centre, Raiden Tran collects it. Drops it at the feet of Stephenson. Stephenson, ball in the middle. Mulholland being pressed high by Federbegovic. He's got to be careful. Mia Cotter. Parallel flicks it down the line. And Miguel de Oliveira with the sideline kick for Ustazen. Switches play out wide to Bergquist. The 1-2 with Federbegovic. And Bergquist looking for the back post. Pumas shut the middle well. De Oliveira. Federbegovic again trying to find Daniel Bergquist in the centre.
Is this Federbegovic's first appearance of the season, John?
It is, I believe. I've commentated a majority of the Sharks games, and it's the first one I've seen him play, so it's good to see him back on the side. He's a good player. He's underrated. He definitely adds a physical presence to the team and is a hard worker, so it's good to see him getting some recognition from Coach Tom Lynch. But I must say, Sharks are really talented this season. It's not an easy side to break into. 3 outs, and look how strong they still are today. 3 big outs as well. Hingragia, De Oliveira leaves it for Federbegovic. Federbegovic not happy. He got hit in the face a little bit. Here he is on the ball and goes forward. Let's see what he's trying to do. Pass a little overhit.
That was just overhit from Federbegovic, but it's the idea. It was a great idea, and De Oliveira just couldn't quite get there. Bergquist at the back. Obviously, you were saying the ex-ECU Jets coach has now turned Scarborough Sharks player, and that was a great intricate play. And De Oliveira, Matt Stephenson, right place, right time on the line, and the counter-attack are going, and Fia Mulholland skips over Amir Fedovic, but Brandon Ustazen, that was great work rate to get behind the ball there and make a great tackle, and he wants to keep that clean sheet clearly. And it's a side ball here. Fiam Mohammed gives it away, but it falls to Jahel. Jahel gives it away again, and Ustazen comes forward, and Brandon Ustazen wanted the advantage. I don't think he knew what was going to unfold there. Tana Campos was just a little whistle happy on that occasion, but that was a certain goal there for Flynn Nolan. It would have been his hat-trick, so he won't be happy with that. But De Oliveira, maybe he just wanted the free kick. And that one's gone into the hands of Raiden Tran. Tran to Matt Stephenson. Stephenson to Jahel. Jahel to Stephenson. He looks up and gives it to Bennett Vesey. Back to Stephenson. Could that be a lifeline that the Perth Pumas craved and need? Obviously, getting away with one there, that would have been a certain goal. One intercepted there from Ustazen. Mia Cotter to Vesey. Vesey looks up, gives it to Jahel. Jahel off the right, and it's taking a deflection off in the Nenditch. He gets his body in the way and just goes to the grateful arms of Jiga Hingragia. I've got to say, Brandon Ustazen is definitely the quiet achiever of the Scarborough Sharks team. Such a composed player on the ball, and you'd say the heartbeat of the Scarborough Sharks. I think he is the captain as well. Obviously, we took him away with us to the Supa-Liga Australian Championships last year, Ustazen, and I rate him very highly.
Yeah, very good player, Brandon Ustazen. I'd agree, definitely underrated, goes unnoticed sometimes, but he's been with the Sharks for pretty much his whole career and is stuck with them through thick and thin. So for his sake, it's good that they're back up the right end of the table after quite a few seasons of poor results.
You would have to say if anyone deserves it, it would be him. Obviously, I've seen photos of him playing for the Scarborough Sharks in probably 2015 or 16, so you can just see the longevity that he has upheld with the Scarborough Sharks, and I know he's a full-time futsal player now. No more outdoor for him, so it's good to see him get his just rewards.
Yeah, Scarborough Sharks are heavy favourites to make the finals this season. They currently sit in third position, but if the game continues the way it has been and they pick up a big victory here today, I believe they will overtake the West Coast Cobras temporarily, depending on how their game goes tonight. So plenty to play for. There's a bit of a gap between the top three and the rest of the league, Northern Hawks, Cobras and Sharks. 3 unbeaten sides left and a couple points ahead of the rest of the pack. Perth Pumas obviously sitting at the bottom of the table, but they've remained competitive in plenty of encounters. Comment from Asheras, and has Spiro Nenadic got his new wife in the stand? I'm not sure, but if she is, I'm sure she'll be the most beautiful lady in the arena. Because
What makes you think that he has got a new lady in the stand, John?
Well, Ash Rassen's just commented on the live stream. Has Spiro Nenadic got his new wife in the stands? And might be satirical, but if you're serious,
this would be big news coming out of Western Australia.
She's a very lucky lady.
Yeah,
who can tie Spiro Nenadic down? I know many have tried, many have failed.
Yeah, I mean,
that is on the ball now.
That would be big news, obviously, coming out of the West Australian dating scene. I know a few of the boys are trying to break into it, but it seems like Spiro Nenadic has broke through it and maybe wifed up. So we'll keep a close eye on that, and we'll keep the tabs running and let you know as the story progresses. Any more comments, Asher Alson, please let us know, as we are invested now.
Nenadic out wide to Nolan. Back rows it to Stazen. Almost won by Jahel. Mulholland. Back out to Jahel. Here's Stephenson. Stephenson squeezes it out to Vesey. Inside to Stephenson. Jahel. Lovely feet from Jahel. Still going. Can he square it across the face? Stazen was there. Jahel on the follow-up shot. Just couldn't find that bottom corner, but that was better from the Pumas. It was a good spell of play. Nenadic, Stazen, bringing it forward. And across to De Oliveira. Nenadic in the centre to Nolan. Can he get his hat-trick before half-time? And that will be a foul called on Matt Stephenson.
Yeah, I think that was probably a little bit harsh. It was a bit of a 50-50 tackle there, and I think you can normally tell when the reaction of the other players, they're not overly appealing for it, that it's probably not a foul. And Flynn Nolan didn't seem to agree that it wasn't given at first, but yeah, and the free kick's been given in the centre of the court. It was, well, I'd say almost the right-hand side. So I think if Pumas concede here, they'll feel quite hard done by.
Nolan strikes off the right, blocked by the wall. De Oliveira again, but Stephenson gets the block in for the Pumas.
That's the one thing Scarborough Sharks probably could work on there. Well, the success rate with free kicks is very, very low.
Vesey on the counter-attack. Jahel, snapshot off the right, well blocked by Nolan, who's doing it up both ends.
I mean, if Pumas want to get back in this game and fight for anything in the second half, they could get a goal now. It would give us a contest.
Jahel looking for the bottom corner. Who's playing well today, Amar Jahel, but it was a good save by Hingragia.
4 seconds from Hingragia. He's held on for it for too long, so this could be the open door the Perth Pumas need or wanted, and will they snatch it open, or will Hingragia and co slam it shut, John? What do you think they're going to work here?
Well, I've got an idea of what they could do. Obviously, it is indirect, so the ball will have to take a touch to be put into play before going into the net for the goal to stand. It's
Marjahel just stepping up the referee's 5 metres there, as he wasn't content with how far back the wall was.
Marjahel standing over it. Mulholland on the right.
I think this is going to go to Mulholland. It has off the left, and I think they've overplayed that there, the Pumas.
Made a bit of a meal of that. They needed to work a shot. They need to go back before half-time. Can Bennett Vesey change it? Not to be on this occasion.
As Jahel's checking in and Mia checking in, yeah, they needed to work something a little bit better there, the Perth Pumas. As Brandon Ustazen has the ball now at the back. Looks forward. It's another great ball. Flynn Nolan just couldn't get on that one, and Endich is flying in. And it's been given away to Ustazen. He could have finished the game there. Spirin and Endich with an exceptional press there. Maybe that new haircut's making him a little bit more aerodynamic. And Endich, good ball forward. Another great touch by Ustazen. He's having a great game. I think Scarborough Sharks this season, they just look quality. And Ustazen tries to chip that onto the back post, and Endich isn't that tall, unfortunately. Matt Stephenson to Mia Cotter. So Stephenson, I think that one was just kept in. Fionn Mulholland, they've got a 3v2 if they can work it. Mulholland, he wanted to go by himself, and now it's a 2v1 the other way. Flynn Nolan to Matty Ustazen, he has to check back. Nolan, he still can work something here. Matt Stephenson defended well there, and good defending at both ends. Much more should have been made out of both of those counter attacks. Mulholland, it's fallen to Stephenson. 30 seconds remaining to Vesey. Vesey, oh, he looked for the reverse ball there to Fionn Mulholland, but that one again was defended there well by Brandon Ustazen. Vesey to Stephenson. Vesey gets it back. Mia Cotter, he can take on an Endich. He chose against it. Mia Cotter. And he went there, and coach, stand-in coach, player, whatever you want to call him, captain, Marjahel wants them to press. I think that's a poor choice. They're just going to go along here to Nolan. He can hold it up, and here he is, Flynn Nolan. That's a foul, and that's why you probably don't press. Will they work this free kick any better than the last few? Miguel de Oliveira is not on the court at this occasion, so this one might be, looks like Ustazen's said captain's knocking, he's going to stand over it. Looks like he might take it. Maybe it'll be a roll forward to Flynn Nolan. Actually, this looks like what it might be. It hasn't. It's an Endich, and great finish there from Spirin and Endich. Great finish, and we were saying the Scarborough Sharks need to work a little bit more from the set pieces, and maybe they listened to me. They probably didn't, but what a goal that was from Endich. I feel bad for Raiden Tran. Not much he could do with that. He would have had more chance of getting a hand on the sun. And with 8 seconds remaining, I think this game might be all she wrote, especially now. Oh, well, it is only half time, but I can't see Perth Pumas turning this deficit around. And that is the half. And we will go to a quick ad break and be back with you for the second half.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
And we're about to get back underway with the second half. Scarborough Sharks currently lead the Perth Pumas 4-0. Still one half of futsal left to play, but I don't see this game turning around. He stays in the centre. Bergqvist flicks it on looking for Nolan. Jahel puts it into touch. Nolan, who stays in. Back to Nolan. He lets it roll under his foot, and the Pumas will pick up possession. Miyakara out wide to Vesey. Jahel checks in the centre, but they opted for Mulholland instead. Vesey with a chance. Who stays in, does well. Ethan Hardy, who's on for his first minutes of the game, picks it up. Jahel, Mulholland with the toe poke, blocked by the Sharks. Miyakara, Jahel, Vesey. Out wide to Jahel, who tries to get on the outside of Federbegovic. He's kept it in and works it to the back post, but no runner there to tap it in. He stays in, ball up the line, finds Bergqvist, and another ball through the middle, this time finding Nolan, who stays in to score. Is that a foul? Referee says no, who stays in, couldn't find the target, but a really good passage of play, fighting Nolan up high before getting the layoff. And what I like about Brandon Ustazen, especially today, is the intensity he's playing at, both going forward and defensively. He's flying around the court at the moment. Vesey to Jahel. Miyakara. Back to Vesey. Tries to find Jahel. Ball just evaded the Pumas number 19. And it will go the way of Daniel Bergqvist for the Scarborough Sharks. A rare loose touch from Ustazen. Hardy, got to be careful, and finds Bergqvist. Nolan, one-on-one with Miyakara.
Yeah, what hold-up play that was from Flynn Nolan, exceptional.
Mushered well there, did Mac Miyakara. Nolan. Federbegovic, ball maybe a little bit short. Ustazen tries to get beyond Miyakara, but he stands tall once again. As it's Miguel de Oliveira who comes on for the Sharks. Nolan. De Oliveira. Bergqvist tries to flick it down the line. He stays in. And across to De Oliveira, who's looking for the one-on-one. Tries to go on the outside of Mulholland. Defended well there by Fionn Mulholland.
Yeah, it looks like the Perth Pumas have come out with a little bit of a game plan of let's sit and try and absorb the pressure. They don't look like they don't want to concede anymore. They'll maybe take their 4-0 and go home. Unless they can do this. And they've got a 3-on-2. This is where they've got to work it. Mulholland goes past Nolan and to Vesey. They've made the angle so difficult for themselves. Mac Miyakara really needed to get around Mulholland there. And that was an opportunity that the Perth Pumas can't give up easily, and they have on that occasion, and that's probably why they are struggling this game for just moments like that. Mulholland battling hard with Nenendic, and Jahel slipped. Nenendic is having none of it. What a ball that is. Nolan could wrap up his hat-trick. Raiden Tran, great save. It's fallen to Spirit Nenendic, to Nolan, and Vesey, and Vesey one-on-one with Ustazen. He can give it to Mulholland. He has it. Oh, the ball's just got too much on it, and good call from the crowd there, telling Tom Lynch to focus on the game. Controversially, Amanda Lynch was demoted back to assistant manager. Now Tom Lynch is back in the fold. She's not happy about it, nor am I. Mia Cotter, that was a 50-50, and yeah, Mia Cotter remonstrating hard there.
A free kick just inside the Sharks' attacking half. They worked the ball well from the last one. This time Oliveira gets on the outside and fires with the left. Raiden Tran with another important stop. De Oliveira to take the corner. Dummies it for Nolan. Nolan fires from distance, but now maybe a chance on the counter for the Pumas. Sharks retreat well in numbers. Miakota to Jahel. Forced to reset with Vesey. Still going Vesey. And a sideline ball for the Perth Pumas. Jahel tries to play the middle. And that one's picked up by De Oliveira. Miakota recovers well. De Oliveira to Hardy. Out wide. Ustazen. Across to Nenadic. Lovely ball forward. Miguel De Oliveira. But Raiden Tran off his line.
You'd have to say if it wasn't for Raiden Tran, then the score line would be a lot more unpleasant. He's had a great game, the young man.
He has, and he's played really well over the last couple of weeks. I think it's good to see him taking the top spot at the Perth Pumas, and maybe the time to do so in a season where they're rebuilding, where results aren't necessarily at a premium. It allows him to get a lot of experience in a low-pressure environment. But in a couple of years, when the likes of Raiden Tran, Alexander, Gubbins, and O'Loughlin mature, I think the Pumas are going to have a lot to be positive about. They don't have a bad squad by any means. It's just player absences that are really hurting them this season. The man on the ball now, Amar Jahel, an SFL champion last season with Bauga. Won the Winter League minor premiership this season with Freo. So, you know, a really good player. This man on the ball, this man at the back here, Matt Stephenson, just outside of screen. The number 44 on the ball now. A former first-team player at Subiaco. Played at AFA Nationals for WA a couple of years ago as well. Emir Federbegovic back on the court for Scarborough Sharks. It's Matt Ustazen, scorer of the exquisite third goal. Lovely ball over. Emir Federbegovic, or did someone say Andrea Pirlo? Stephenson, Jahel under pressure. Federbegovic, oh, he's got that one wrong. But I like the intensity he's bringing. He's on with that look in his eye. He wants to make an impact. Show Tom Lynch where he should retain his spot next week. Vesey. And it's been better from the Pumas this half. They've looked a lot more in the game. Jahel! As I say that, he almost pulls one back. It was tipped onto the woodwork by Hardy. Stephenson. And that ball just can't quite find Amar Jahel, but signs of positivity for the Perth Pumas. Whether they win this game or not, if they can get a good result out of the second half, at least they'll have some good talking points come the end of the match. And goal difference could be a factor. There are teams in and around them at the foot of the table as Fiona Mulholland trying to win that ball up high.
Yeah. I think let's not get understated how good of a save that was from Ethan Hardy, tipping that one onto the post. Jahel probably would have thought he'd scored for sure. But as you're saying, the Pumas, a lot of positives from this half, and if they could get their counter-attack going, they could have had 2 goals easily. But it is still 4-0, and that pretty much sums up the Perth Pumas season thus far, as the ball was kicked into Mulholland, and it's gone out for a Scarborough Sharks side ball. De Oliveira makes his Mulholland, and what a ball forward from Brandon Ustazen again. I mean, I'll say it once more. He's had such a great game, and De Oliveira with a high press, and Miguel De Oliveira. Oh, what a goal that could have been. Some lovely skill from De Oliveira. Ustazen having none of that from De Oliveira. He wants him to get behind the ball quickly. Mulholland gives it to Miyakotta. Oh, that was a great ball to the back post by Mac Miyakotta.
Ethan Hardy restarts for the Sharks. Long ball to Bergqvist, who stays in, gets on the outside of Vessi, and fires off the left, but hits that Futsal WA logo instead of the back of the net. Stephenson, Jahel. If anyone can do it for the Pumas, it's going to be him. Hardy sliding out, and Jahel going flying. We hope he's all right. An injury for him will make the Perth Pumas not go from bad to worse. But it looks like he's fit enough to carry on. Stephenson finds Jahel with the toe poke in at the near post. And you feel like if he didn't pick up that knock, he could have made more of the chance. The shot looked a little hesitant, but still forcing a save out of Hardy nonetheless. Jahel, that one rolling through to Ethan Hardy. He stays in. A long ball over. Raiden Tran picks it out of the air. Miyakotta. Vessi looking for Jahel. Wanted him to move toward the ball. They haven't conceded thus far in the second half. The Pumas. It's been that first half curse week after week that they haven't been able to break. And Jahel looking for Vessi on the turn. They've got, what's the Sharks sideline ball rather. He stays in the centre. Miyakotta, nicely done. Stephenson. Back out to Vessi. Miyakotta. Inside looking for Jahel. Cleared his lines. Miguel De Oliveira makes his way to the bench. Spiro Nenadic, the top G, coming back on. But as that happens, a timeout called, and we'll take a momentary break and be back in just a second.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
And we're back with the final 8 minutes of the match. Scarborough Sharks lead Perth Pumas 4-0 thanks to 4 first-half finishes. 2 from Flynn Nolan, 1 from Spiro Nenadic, and 1 from Matthew Ustazen. The Pumas have held up much better this second half and have created chances of their own. Just haven't been able to beat the in-form Ethan Hardy. He made a brilliant save earlier, tipping a shot from Amar Jahel onto the post. It's Stephenson in the centre. Miyakota out wide. Here's Jahel trying to gain ground. Gives it to Miyakota. Tries to return to Jahel. It's fallen to Mulholland. Cuts inside. And that was a foul. Theon Mulholland brought down on the very edge of the area. And now a chance for the Pumas to put themselves on the score sheet. They had a set piece from similar range earlier, but were unable to make the most of it. Can they capitalize this time around? It's Jahel with Mulholland. Lays it off. Back row to Jahel! But that was cleared off the line. A lovely set play. And I know where I've seen that one before. We were working on it at Freo training midweek, and it very nearly paid off in the Supa-Liga for the Pumas this evening. Nolan. Nenadic. And in at the near post from Spiro Nenadic on the turn with the left. They've got a corner. Up the line. Here's Nolan. In the centre. Nenadic helps it on. But couldn't quite finish on this occasion. Spiro Nenadic. Raiden Tran. The Sharks pressing high. Mulholland looking to get around Ustazen. And he might have just about done so. But a lovely save from Ethan Hardy, who's having an exceptional game this evening, but he's getting amongst it. He's going at it with Theon Mulholland, and he might go into the book. Taina Campos having a chat with the goalkeeper and the Sharks, the Pumas number 11 rather, who's not happy with the challenge, but he's got to compose himself. His side are 4-0 up with just over 5 minutes on the clock. And a drop ball to follow in the centre court. Miyakota plays to Jahel. With the take on Amar Jahel off the left, and that's gone in. Lovely from Amar Jahel. And he's pulled one back for the Perth Pumas. That will be a contender for goal of the week, I think. Taking Nenadic on down the line before firing off the left into the bottom corner. Miyakota mops up at the back. Here's Jahel. Nenadic, a real chance. Raiden Tran with the save. Miyakota, ball to the back post, looking for Jahel. Hardy gets it started quickly. Nolan, Jahel gets a toe in. Who stays in to Nenadic. And tries to play it down the line, but blocked by the Pumas defense. They've had a good second half, the Perth Pumas. Currently lead the Sharks 1-0, but the damage was done in the first. Partially by this man on the ball now, Flynn Nolan. But he was well defended by Bennett Vesey. Jahel back to Vesey. In the centre to Mulholland. Lovely bit of skill to get around him. And it's still a chance alive for Vesey. Scoops it over the top. Nenadic makes way to the bench. It's Miguel de Oliveira who comes back on the court. Hardy, long throw. Stephenson. Mulholland, can he turn? And that one trickling out of play. And just touching on the remaining 2 matches of the evening. Straight after this, we have Northern Hawks against Perth AFC. And in the final game of the round, Longobarda take on the West Coast Cobras. Is that header from Miguel de Oliveira. Marginally over the bar. In the centre, Mulholland back to Jahel. This game has gone up a notch in intensity in the last couple of minutes. Jahel cuts inside. Still going Jahel. Mulholland tries to cut onto the left. Blocked well by Miguel de Oliveira, who stood tall and put his body on the line for his side, who are 2.5 minutes away from a big win. And Nolan this time around stopping Mulholland from getting any further. Jahel looking for Stephenson, but it's been won back by de Oliveira. A 3-on-2 for the Scarborough Sharks. Lays it off. Who stays in? And that's 5-1. That's the sealer. And that's Brandon Oosthuizen's first of the evening. We'll have a look at that on the replay. It all started with a bit of individual brilliance from Miguel de Oliveira. Unselfishly laid it off to Oosthuizen, who finished through the legs of Tran. And the Sharks now lead 5-1. Stephenson, Jahel trying to beat Federbegovic. Still going Jahel. Runs out of room. And a timeout for the Scarborough Sharks with 2 minutes exactly left on the clock. We'll have a quick break and be back in just a moment. And both teams break from the timeout. Scarborough Sharks with a side ball on the near side of the court. Amir Federbegovic, the one to take it. He stays in, plays to the target in Nolan. And trying to find de Oliveira with the layoff. De Oliveira wins it up high. This is where he's dangerous. Nolan inside. Federbegovic, a rushed effort. Racks it wide. Jahel Vesey in the middle to Mulholland. He's got Oosthuizen to beat. Miyakota back down the line looking for Mulholland. Moshud out of bounds by Brandon Oosthuizen. Federbegovic returns inside. Nolan under pressure. Jahel wins it up high. Vesey looks for Jahel, and it wasn't a bad ball, but Jahel couldn't get it under control. And it will be Ethan Hardy's throw to Bergquist on the wing, who stays in the centre. Nolan, one-on-one. Was he brought down? Referee says yes. And it's a free kick right outside the D for the Scarborough Sharks. 1 minute and 11 seconds left. A good chance to extend their lead. And it looks like it may be Miguel de Oliveira to take it. Searching for his first goal of the evening. He's played well today. He deserves one. Raiden Tran and the Pumas ball in his way, but tries to go over the top. Not one of his better efforts. And a high press being employed by the Scarborough Sharks. They're not going to let the Pumas out easy. Jahel. Miguel Oliveira wins it up high, but it was a handball. Oliveira saying it hit his chest, but the referee not buying it. Mulholland. Well defended by Bergquist. And Mulholland committing the offence. Daniel Bergquist brought to ground. 57 seconds left on the clock. He tries to find the feet of De Oliveira, who couldn't quite get there. Across to Miyakota. First time ball to Vessi. Jehel making the run. He's through if they can find him. Mulholland. Miyakota. Vessi. Down the line for Miyakota. Well defended by Nolan, who just about keeps it in. De Oliveira. Back to Nolan. Ball through the middle. One by Mulholland. Can he pull one back for the Pumas late? Jahel. Nolan in the corner. And he concedes the corner. So 23 seconds left. A memorable victory for the Scarborough Sharks. Can Pumas make the scoreline more respectable? Miyakota flashing that one to the back post. Mulholland didn't make the run in time. As Hardy, that's going to be two touch, but Hardy very smart. He left it. And now a breakaway chance for the Sharks. Federbegovic, can he help it on? Still going Federbegovic. Saved by Tran. Saved by Tran again and again. And that's the final whistle. The Perth Pumas go down 5-1 to the Scarborough Sharks. It was Flynn Nolan scoring 2. Matthew Ustazen with 1. Brandon Ustazen with 1. And Spiro Nenadic with 1. However, Brandon Ustazen picking up a whopping 4 assists. What a performance from him for the Perth Pumas. Amar Jahel scoring the lone goal, and a very good goal at that. We'll leave you with the full-time statistics before we'll be back in just a moment with the next match between Northern Hawks and Perth AFC.